Alright, a beautiful day, another day. So, what we're gonna do here is basically work on exactly how do we go about uh, buying a currency. What do we do, like before we know that we can buy or before we know that we can sell? What exactly should we do? So basically, there are actually three types of analysis, and these are basically uh, these are basically uh, one of them is technical analysis, which is you have to deal with understanding this whole thing, like all this, what's this. And we have fundamental analysis, which is based on events, news events, which obviously we looked about when you open Forex Factory in the previous video. And then there is also sentiment analysis. So we combine the three types of analysis so that we can be able to gauge what we are mostly likely to do, whether we're going to buy or we're going to sell. So currently on a Euro USD chart, and obviously at the top right corner over there you can see that we have a D1, right? D1, like we stated, if it's D1, meaning each and every candle here. So these are candlesticks. So meaning it can be big, it can be big like this, it can be small like this, or something like this. The truth is that it took one single day, full 24 hours, for it to just form like this. So there are also two types of candlesticks. There is a bullish candlestick and a bearish candlestick. So a bearish candlestick is where price opens, like it opens right here and then closes below the open price. That is a bearish candlestick, meaning price was going down. And if it is bullish, it's where price opened and then closed above the open, so making it to be to give you an information that actually price is going up. So for now, if when it comes to analyzing based on technical analysis, we should actually understand that there are actually ways to help us gauge where the market is going. And one of them, when it comes to technical analysis, you talk of trend lines, or rather the direction of the trend, as well as support and resistance, and all the many other forms of ways you can actually use to gauge the markets. So in this case, if I click, just tap on the screen and then you click here on the single plus button over here, and then let me just click that. I'm going to delete this. Yeah, just click that and then you'll see that you have something like this. So this here is a trend line. It's what you use to actually determine where the trend is, and this is the horizontal line, or you can want to spot out the levels of interest. Like this is the level of interest over here. So meaning it's the support zone area where if price reaches on this point, there is high chance that price will actually go back. Like what we had here, price reached a zone over here, and then guess what happened? Price went all the way up, right? So these come in two times. There is actually a support zone. So meaning a support zone is where price will actually reach and bounce back to go up, and then there's another one which is actually the resistance. So resistance is found at the top, something that resists price to actually go beyond it, right? So what we seek for as traders is to buy from the support and sell from the resistance, but there are also confirmations before we can actually buy or sell. So I'm about to take a trade on Euro USD and using top-down analysis. This is why you have to analyze from the monthly time frame. You try to spot, okay, where is the trend, what are the market patterns, and many other things. So what we have for this moment is that we have an M pattern. We have an M pattern where price went up here, and then it formed like an M. Let me just get it done. Right, it's like an M pattern, and then the M was extended, right? This is where the M actually, it started from here, it goes all the way there, it comes to this point, it comes here, it comes here. So most of the times when it breaks like this, there is more room for price to go down, but eventually this zone was actually a support. This zone, let me have it there. This zone was once a support. After it was broken, it changes, it becomes resistance. So after an overextended M pattern formation, we always expect price to actually retrace back to this zone. so that it meets the new the previous support, which is now turned resistant, before it can actually continue going down, right? So yeah, so at the moment, now that we can see that we're actually on the zone of support and resistance, this is my analysis that okay, we should be expecting price to actually go up on a monthly time frame. So I'm gonna just delete all of these, and then we go down to the daily time frame, I mean weekly time frame. So based on the weekly time frame, you find that actually it's nearly the same thing, but then there's a level of interest somewhere around here, this one. And then there's also something interesting called the bullish engulf, this candle here, which opened around here and closed around here. So this actually shows that buyers are actually getting more momentum in the markets, and there is more room to actually hold a trade for profit. So currently, since this week has just started, I'll be waiting for market to change from a bearish dimension market to actually a bullish dimension market, and then I'll be looking forward to actually going up in price. So I'm also expecting a bullish market this week and the coming weeks until we come to this zone probably. So I'm expecting a bullish. So now the monthly I'm bullish and the weekly I'm bullish, and now we're gonna go down to the daily time frame. From the daily time frame, obviously you can see that we would have been expecting a buy zone over here to buy, but actually price comes in like this. Most of the times when it comes in like this, it's mostly coming in to take out stop losses. Could be a stop loss hack. So we could have been selling if price actually closed like this candle here, which just gapped up, down. If it closed below the previous zone here, we could have been looking for a sell. But look at what happened. It came here all the way down, but rejected and closed above this zone. So meaning it's really a fake out. It came opening up from this zone, unable to break the previous support. So we should be expecting price to go up. And if we go down to a 4-hour time frame, it's nearly the same thing. It's nearly the same thing. So you're on a support zone, and it seems like price is finding it hard to break the zone. So for now, in my case, I come to 1-hour time frame and I can see that there is a gap which just happened here. Most of the times when price gaps the downside, from a market maker sentimental theory, you find that when price gaps to the downside, it will want to find a way to close up this gap. So currently right now, this is 8 a.m. It's like 2 hours before the London session opens. So I personally will be looking for a buy setup. And now in this account I got $10,500, and I'll be taking a position with risking the $500, the whole of it. So I'll be taking a buy position. Why am I taking a buy position? Firstly, I have a trend going up, right? We have an uptrend, right? So this is based on technicals. So I'll be seeking for a buy on technicals. And now let's go down to sentiment. Let's go down to sentiment. Okay. So where is it? Should have it here. So sentiment analysis is what actually helps us to analyze which side of the big players in the market. I mean the hedge funds, the banks, where are they positioned for them to actually make their big trades and make money, right? So I'm gonna just go on latest CO2 report, and then I'll just give it a moment. It should open. So I'm gonna click on major currency pairs, and I want it to open up so it can actually show me which part of the hedge funds, the big guys who are playing at the stock exchange, what are they doing. So we have NZD, Swiss franc, JPY, CAD, and I'm going to Euro, right? I'm gonna open up the one for Euro so that I can actually see how these guys are positioned. Okay, it's just loading up. One moment. Okay, so now that it's open up, um, if you look very closely, this is how it's aligned. This is the history, and it's going all the way down to the new, to what's coming new. And obviously, you can see that on the 22nd of February 2022, this year, there were a number of over 214,000 positions which were added to the long side. So long side, what it means is actually the buy positions, and least number on the short side. And if you look at exactly what's been happening, is that price previously moved all the way from having like the short positions in control, like of 22,000, all the way to being positive up to 59,000. So basically, the hedge funds and all the big banks are seeking to be long, are seeking for long positions in the market currently, right? And then, if we were to open up what we are against with Euro USD, obviously you find that also they're going also in the long position, right? But eventually, if you look at the number of positions for Euro and USD, you find that Euro we got 200 and something thousand positions to the buy side, unlike the US dollar, which is like 40. So it's actually going in like probably 5 times in the euro in terms of power. So sentiment analysis, I am bullish, right? So let's go back to our MetaTrader, and I'll be placing my lot 0.60 buy position on Euro USD, and I'll just click on the plus button there, and then I'll put 0.50 here, and then I'll be buying. Just in case you don't want to set it this way, you can actually just come to the quotes and then just click on Euro USD, right? What do we have there? Euro USD, and then you say new order, and you can now change the lot size. And then obviously my target, I've already calculated it, it's actually 6,500, which is a long-term trade, and my stop loss is 0.99, and I'm gonna buy. And yeah, done. So this is how I've actually analyzed my trade, and if price reaches this zone, I'll be stopped out in losses. If price goes all the way up, I'll be in profit. So the stop loss is there to protect my capital. Say I'm risking this amount of money, but if it goes beyond this level, there is room for me to actually make a trade later. So that's how analyzing comes in based on the professional level. Though it's not much, I've said just the basics of professional analysis. There is much more beyond this. So this is how we actually trade.